How's it going, guys and gals? We're back with some more PoE. This is more or less just an update video. It won't be very long, but I just wanted to cover what I'm working on and why it's taken me a while to kind of come out with a PO. Well, yeah, a good POB for it. Of course, I'm working on it by myself. I'm slowly getting things together. The character we are playing is Eye of Winter, self-cast Occultist. Um, My sixth link, sixth socket will eventually be Eye of Winter, added cold damage, cold penetration, unleash support, increased critical strike support, and then arcane surge. Um, if I have to list them in importance as far as like where you're leveling and stuff, I would probably say Eye of Winter, added cold damage, um, increased crit, and unleash. Once you hit 5 links, go ahead and get in a cold penetration, and then lastly arcane surge. You could also swap out added cold for arcane surge depending on your links, just for the increased damage. Just make sure to uh, keep in mind the mana required to activate arcane surge because you want it to activate every time you cast. Okay, so I don't have it on my links yet, or I don't have it on my links currently. Um, I will have it eventually. I'm just leveling it on the side right now. At end, at the end point, when you're rocking like level 20 Eye of Winter, you will be wanting to go with a level 13 Arcane Surge. The damage on this character is decent. There's nothing like super crazy about it. It's currently at 50% crit, 51. Um, there are other things that I'm going to add to increase crit. Of course, you can add jewels, which I'm using this one. It's not really that great of a jewel, but it adds a little bit of projectile damage and additional pierce, which is fine. Um, but there are a couple of chase items and a couple of items that will make this build even better. So there's a large cluster jewel with a passive that grants another 30% on unleash seal gain frequency. So then you would end up at 50. And then there's also a pair of gloves, pair of Doedri's Malevolence, I believe is what it's called, that help with that as well. So that would help you keep these seals up at 4 seals instead of having it go down to 1, and you can continually cast that. Now it is kind of hard with the auras. Um, there are things we can do about that. We could rock an Essence Worm ring, and that alone would help. Yeah, see, the biggest issue is being in the proper position for the majority of the damage, because the majority of the damage is going to happen right there at that last release. Um, I also haven't run my last Ascendancy, my last Labyrinth, which I will run um, very soon. I believe I'm going to go with the Energy Shield Ascendancy, which will help with a bunch of different things, but the main one being is as long as I have Energy Shield, I will be stun immune, basically. Um, I've jumped between this character. I've made 3 of these. One is on Solo Self-Found League, which I'm still playing Solo Self-Found, even though I'm on Trade League right now. I haven't been gathering anything special because I don't want to jump the gun. I want to give y'all a build that will function whether you're on Solo Self-Found or Trade League. I also want to make sure that I understand the ins and outs of it. So when I do put out the build guide for this, it'll be really simple for y'all to follow, and y'all will know why I chose what I chose. Y'all won't have to do any like digging or anything like that for information on why or when or what. There are a couple of really good items, like I said, that can help out with damage and consistency. I'll list all of those and what they do and why they would be good for this build. But of course, that brings on other challenges, such as working around your res caps and everything like that. So that's a big one. But yeah, as you can see, you know, with Energy Shield Leech, the amount of damage that you're putting out, especially since you're critting the majority of the time, pretty high. You can see the Energy Shield just continues to go up. Um, as we continue to increase damage, that will be even better. I think we can actually see how much we're leeching. Is it under defenses maybe? Energy shield, recharge per second, energy shield. I guess it doesn't let me see the leech. Thought it did. Maybe it's under this. Leech, okay. Energy shield leech from spells 1.1%. Base maximum recovery energy shield leech 155, 10%. Energy shield recharge total recovery per second modifier plus 30. So if we can get that up, it should be pretty good. Pretty good indeed. But I'm also rocking so I have a 50% chance to crit currently, but I'm also rocking a self-cast Diamond Flask for 100%, and it's up whenever it's full. It has attack speed, which is kind of useless. If I can get cast speed on it, that'd be great. But the recharge on crit is great because since I'm already critting 50% of the time, it recharges pretty fast, and that allows me to have 100% crit while it's up. See, now it went off, and now I have 100% crit. And then it recharges as I'm attacking, so it's pretty good. It's a pretty good method to have 100% crit while you're playing around, killing stuff. I would definitely recommend running one. Let's go kill this boss. As far as damage goes, I've run higher level maps. This is a lower level map, but the damage is pretty much the same on higher level enemies. You just got to make sure that you're in the right spot, and you can two-shot them pretty much, maybe three. But again, this is all dependent on where you stand and where this lands. I can actually show y'all the difference right now. Let me not worry too much about grabbing all this stuff. I can grab it in a minute once I finish the video. Alright, so let's say I go and I don't think I have one on me. Let me go grab one. Go grab a slower projectile. So slow projectile speed would be good in an instance that you don't want to be super far away from the enemy, which you're not super far in general. Let's see. So if we go slow projectile speed, which is right here, slower projectile speed. Ooh, I know I have currency. So if we go to slower projectile speed, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll dump out cold pen or something, so that way we can keep track of it. Cold penetration. Okay, so if we go with a slower, it ends a little sooner. But it doesn't really, the thing is the eye doesn't cause damage. You have to understand that it's only the spikes. The only reason that, see if it does it even end earlier though? Yeah, see it does. See, it goes from ending over here to ending right here. It's very slight, but let me see. Yeah, see, it's just slightly further. I think that increases as you level. The projectile speed should slow down even further, and it'll probably end closer to you. So if you wanted to run something that you're not super far from the enemies, that's fine, and that would work in this sense because you are producing an aura that reduces the enemy's cold resistance by 20 on this specific build, and that's right here. So nearby enemies have negative 20 cold resistance, which the aura is actually fairly far. This one is good because it gives you more damage, and it's quite a good defensive skill. And I personally like going with Profane Bloom. As you curse things, it makes them explode, and they can do a quarter of their life as damage. I think that's a really good one. But if you're looking for something more defensive, you could go with Malediction. As you can see at the bottom, it says enemies with malediction deal 10% reduced damage and take 10% increased damage. So if you're just looking for a straight, reduction, as well as being able to apply a secondary curse, which is pretty cool, you can go that route too. Um, but for me, this is the route that I'm going. It's much more. It's a much to me, it's a much stronger build. Using Forbidden Power is great if you're running something that has is affected by increased area of effect. Uh, the only thing we're running that is uh, that can be affected by that is Hydrosphere, which I'm not really worried about running Hydrosphere. So I'm gonna go with Energy Shield. So we'll gain 40 Energy Shield per second, 2% for every mob we killed, up to 10%, and cannot be stunned. That's the big one. That's gonna help with our survivability because that'll help us get away when we do get stunned. Um, of course, there are items that will help us in other ways because right now I'm not running anything optimized. This is all just gear that's I found along the way. Um, but if the more health you can get, the better. The more energy shield you can get on a piece, the better. Um, those are the two main things, and staying res capped. Eventually, there are other items that can make this build even stronger. So, like if you want to be curse resistant, you could run an at series reflection, I believe it's called, or at series mirror. And I don't think I have one. I don't think I have one of the base ones. I need to. Okay, I do. So you have to get the faded version of this item, and this is still a pretty decent item. 20% chance to block spell damage while cursed, which it's hex reflection. 10% chance to block attack damage while not cursed. So gains 10%. 50% reduce duration of curses on you, plus 12 to elemental resistance. Like this is a pretty good one. But if you get the upgraded one, you can get energy shield and all that good stuff. So like that's a big plus. There's quite a few items like that. The Chevron's wrappings would be great. That way you don't have to worry about chaos damage bypassing your energy shield and killing you. There are a lot of other aspects that I'm looking into for end game, like the complete end game version of this build. But right now, the way the build runs and how it kills and everything is perfect for starting the game. It's something you can play from the very beginning all the way to the very end, and get yourself into mapping and everything like that. So I need to put a little bit more time into the POB, the Path of Building build guide for this, and I'll probably do what I can. I'm not perfect, of course, but I'm gonna do what I can to put out a good build guide for y'all. And other than that, though, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all like the build, and I'll see y'all next time. Exiles, Elder Vote out.